5 Russian warships sank at once. Gurulev complains that Russian air defense is full of holes. A Russian tanker burned in the Mediterranean Sea. Was it Ukraine that struck? Kadyrov's heirs are stuck in Saudi Arabia under fire. Ramzan urgently sent a plane for them. Apple has started blocking accounts of Russian officials. Simonyan received an award for enlightening Russians. Russian preschoolers and schoolchildren have started being taken to the registry office. Meanwhile, the US has started a new war. Who is it with this time? Hello everyone, my name is Eva Nikolashvili. This is the program In Trend. Like, subscribe and let's get started. It's a black day on the calendar for Russians. They lost at least 5 warships at once. Of course, not without the help of the Ukrainians. The ships were damaged in the port of Novorossiysk as a result of a Ukrainian drone attack on the night of March 2nd. These pleasant news were reported by Russian public pages. According to their information, among the affected vessels are the Ace, Kasimov, and the minesweeper Valentin Pikul. Perhaps it was because of such huge losses that Gurulev lost his temper. The Alco general really went on a rampage over the strike on Novorossiysk. Both the bureaucrats and the military got an earful. The main takeaway is that Russian air defense is full of holes and can't save Novorossiysk.
Novorossiysk is burning 6 harpoons. Where are our much-vaunted barriers against naval drones? Where is the electronic warfare that was supposed to blind this swarm? Why is our air defense firing at residential buildings instead of drones? Once again, we slept through it. Once again, we just hope for the best. While officials in their offices are siphoning off security budgets, our fleet imports are being hit like sitting ducks at a shooting range. This isn't negligence, it's outright betrayal of the country's interests.
Russians themselves are also helping to reduce their own military potential. Another case of friendly fire in the swamps, and as a result, 1 more helicopter lost. This was confirmed in Russian public forums. But as for exactly where the Russian bird went down, the information varies. Local residents write that the helicopter crashed in the Rostov region. Some so-called war correspondents claim that it happened near the Milerovo military airfield. Z-blogger Boris Rosin writes that the helicopter might have been shot down near Volgograd. So it's unclear where it crashed, but the fact that it crashed is satisfying. What could be more satisfying than a burned helicopter? Only a burned Russian tanker. And we have one of those too. It's just loss after loss for the Russians. I can't say I feel sorry for them. So about the tanker, it caught fire in the Mediterranean Sea the day before. A vessel from the Shadow Fleet called Arctic Metagas was transporting liquefied natural gas for the Kremlin. The tanker is under US and UK sanctions. This morning, photos of the damaged vessel surfaced, and judging by the images, Putin should start saying his last rites for it. But what's also important here is who struck it. Let me remind you, it caught fire in the Mediterranean Sea, but the ones held responsible for the attack are still the Ukrainians.
Wait, what? Oh, not this again.
Well, at least that's what the Russian Ministry of Transport claims. The agency insists that the Russian gas carrier was attacked by Ukrainian unmanned boats from the coast of Libya. How the Ukrainians ended up there and with unmanned boats no less, the Russians did not specify. Well, the attack was quickly labeled an act of international terrorism and maritime piracy. Kadyrov's offspring got stuck in Saudi Arabia under fire from the Iranians. The plane belonging to the Chechen leader has already urgently flown to Medina, from where it is now evacuating tourists from Middle Eastern countries. It is known that at least trolls used the aircraft. Ramzan himself and his children, Adam and Eli. As Russian journalists have found out, the head of Chechnya apparently is currently in his home republic. So the business jet is picking up one of Dundon's sons. By the way, Kadyrov is doing everything he can to hide this information. For part of the flight, the plane's transponders were deliberately turned off, so the aircraft's departure location remains unknown. Only when landing in Saudi Arabia did the pilot turn on the GPS. Meanwhile, Iran has chosen a new Ayatollah. The new supreme leader is the son of the late Khamenei, Mujtabu. For now, this is unofficial. Iranian opposition media reported on the new successor. At the same time, the publication notes that the appointment was likely both voluntary and forced. The Assembly of Experts, under pressure from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, elected 56-year-old Mujtabu Khamenei. In particular, the security forces insisted on quickly determining a successor in order to avoid political instability after Khamenei's death. It is believed that for the past 15 years, Majtabu has been the grey eminence of Iran, exerting enormous influence over the IRGC and intelligence services. Israel's Minister of Defense has already stated that, in any case, they do not care who has become the new leader. It won't last long anyway.
Any leader appointed by the Iranian terrorist regime to continue implementing the plan to destroy Israel, threaten the United States, the free world, and countries in the region, as well as to oppress the Iranian people, will become an unconditional target for elimination. It doesn't matter what his name is or where he is hiding. The Prime Minister and I have instructed the Israel Defense Forces to prepare and act by all possible means to carry out this mission as an integral part of the objectives of Operation Lion's Den.
Speaking of Khamenei's elimination, his death struck a blow not only to the IRGC but also to Putin. The bunker dwellers' paranoia has intensified. Politico reports on this. According to journalists, Khamenei's assassination awakened two deeply rooted instincts in the Russian dictator: a deeply ingrained paranoia about his own longevity and a drive for political survival defined by achieving victory over Ukraine at any cost. Russian officials are facing a tragedy. Apple has started blocking their accounts. Russian deputies and senators are complaining about this monstrous act of injustice. The Russian publication Vedomosti reported that 3 deputies are experiencing problems accessing their accounts on iPhones. One of the parliamentarians received a notification about the block when trying to pay for a subscription, while another received a similar message from Apple spontaneously. Interestingly, it is not known exactly who is complaining about the block. The deputies prefer to remain anonymous on this matter. The only one among them who publicly admitted to being blocked is the former head of Roscosmos and so-called senator from the Zaporizhzhia region, Dmitry Rogozin. What do you think the others are afraid of? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
Margarita Simonyan has received an award. The Russian propagandist was awarded for her overall contribution to education. How exactly and whom she enlightened remains a mystery. Simonyan accepted the congratulations via video. They claim she couldn't attend in person due to health reasons. The propagandist also stated that Russians are now a nation more eager than others to learn about the world, their own culture and history. It sounds like a very bad joke.
I am so grateful that the Knowledge Society, represented by Sergei Vladimirovich, considered it possible to recognize my rather modest work in the field of education. I try very hard because I believe that knowledge and the pursuit of knowledge are what set our country, our people apart, and distinguish our country and our people from many others. This is in fact a significant part of those very bonds that our president spoke about. That's the kind of people we are. Remember how proud we were to be the most well-read nation? Right now, as a nation, more than others, I know this firsthand, dealing with other peoples due to my professional duties, we are a nation that strives more than others to understand the world, ourselves, world culture, our own history, and the history of the world.
Russian preschoolers and school children have started being taken to the registry office and are being married off. For now, it's just pretend, but who knows how things will go from here. Social media reports that since the beginning of 2026, kindergartens, schools, colleges, universities, and the registry offices themselves have reported holding such events over 100 times. Educational institutions choose various occasions for these excursions. Some report that they did this as part of career guidance activities. They introduce children and teenagers to the profession of a registry office worker. Others hold such events as part of family studies lessons. But somewhere they miscalculated. In the Perm region, a registry office employee staged a pretend wedding between 2 6th-grade girls. What do you think about such events for children? Share your thoughts in the comments. I know that people from different countries are watching us. Also, let us know in the comments where you're from and whether you support the Ukrainians' fight against the empire of evil. And don't forget to like this video and be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. New contests during airplane takeoff in Russia. At Moscow's Vnukovo Airport, an airplane engine caught fire right during takeoff. The irony is that before this, the passengers of the ill-fated flight had already waited 2 days for their departure due to a malfunction with the aircraft. Judging by the footage, they still weren't able to fix the airliner during that time. Passengers say that as the plane was gaining altitude, the sound was so loud and metallic, it was as if an elevator had fallen from a great height. Nevertheless, the plane did not return to Vnukovo. Terrified tourists were then reluctantly flown for another 8 hours to Thailand. A new war with the United States. The Americans have launched a military operation on the territory of Ecuador. However, this time it is with the permission of the country's authorities. The war has been declared on drug cartels. The goal is to eliminate the threat posed by organizations that have been designated as terrorist in the country. There are already reports of initial successes. American forces intercepted and struck a violating vessel in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. And while the world stands on the brink of World War III, some country leaders are openly entertaining themselves. For example, Argentina's President Milei published an AI-generated video in which Trump performs a magic trick on stage, making Khamenei and Maduro disappear. Milei captioned his video, quote, "Long live freedom, damn it," end quote. You have to see this.